Well, good morning, and a special good morning to Glow, Shine, Illuminate, and all on the threes. How are you? How's your week been? Are you smashing those times tables in your home learning? Have you learnt something new this week? Have you had enough sleep? I hope you're doing okay, and I hope that you've had fun with your family, even in this rather strange time that we still find ourselves in. I had a little surprise through the post this week. Some friends in Manchester sent me this beautiful rainbow, which I've been able to put in my window for not only myself to enjoy, but also my neighbours. That was a nice surprise, and I'm sure that you have been doing things to brighten up people's days as well. So before we go any further and launch ourselves into finding out a little bit more about Moses, let's sing happy birthday. And there are some names in our bags this week. So let me just get Birthday Bear here. Here he is. Are we in good voice this morning? La 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 la. Oh, sounding good. So let's sing happy birthday to those people who might be with us in our house and those who might be far away. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daniel and Leonardo. Happy birthday to you. Beautiful singing as always, CSK. Say bye-bye. So, did you bring your sock with you? You did? Good. Have the adults got a sock with them as well? Brilliant. I'm going to show you a little activity that you can do with your family during this week with the sock a little bit later on. But before that, we're going to have a sock quiz. Da, da, da. So, have a little chat with your family about how many different types of socks you think I might have in my pile of stuff over here. Now, I'm not talking about the different colours, but I'm talking more about the different types of socks we might have. So have a little chat. Still going? Got an idea? What's your number? Oh, I heard a 3. 6? 9? Shall we find out? Let's have a look then. So, first of all, I have got some smaller socks. These are normally called trainer socks. So if you said trainer socks, good for you. 1 point to you. I have got some very fluffy socks, which I often wear in bed when my feet are cold. Don't need them so much at the moment, but they're great when you go camping. So bed socks, if you said that, that's another point. I've also got these ones. These are a little bit strange because they've got no heel. These are welly socks to help you get your wellies on really easily and to take them off even easier. Always good. I bet some of you got these ones because you know that I like to go walking. So these are the socks that I wear in my walking boots. They're great because I've got 2 layers to stop you getting blisters. So if you said walking socks, another point. Now, you might have mentioned these ones. These are the sort of socks that maybe shouldn't be being worn anymore. How many people have got some of those in your house? You might also have mentioned long socks. These are even long enough for my long legs. Long socks. And I know that some people like to wear odd socks. They get so tired of trying to find the ones that don't match together, they just go to put odd socks together. So if you've got any of those, well done. And you might also know that I like to use one of my socks for something a little bit strange. This sock is my mobile phone holder. So if you've got any of those, give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. So with your sock, we're going to play a little game with your family. And here is mine. So you'll see that I've filled it up. It looks a little bit like a Christmas stocking now, doesn't it? So what you need to do is find 5 things in your house that describe you. Right? Your family know you very well. But I want you to find 5 things that you could fit in your sock that they are going to guess that are things that describe you. Okay? So you don't need to go and do it now. You can do it any time during the week. Have a little game and get your parents to join in as well, or any other adults that are in your household at the moment. So 5 things that describe you. And I've got things in here that maybe I like to eat or drink. Maybe things that I like doing. So if you are a big fan of Lego, for example, you might put a piece of Lego in there. So you get the idea. All the things in your sock are all about you. And then your family have to ask you questions about them, and you can only answer yes or no, all right, until they've got all the items. So there's a little game for this week. Your sock is all about you and how well your family know you. Okay. Well, how does that link in with Moses? I can hear you asking that. Joy, what are you thinking about today? Well, let's jump into our Bible reading. Today, if you're in the Sunday worship with Sylvia and with Rachel, you'll know that we launch into a passage from Exodus, which is the second book of the Old Testament. So Genesis, Exodus. So right at the beginning of our Bible. And we're going to look at Exodus chapter 3, and we're finding out about Moses and when he saw the burning bush. So if you've got your Bibles, follow along as I read. And I'm reading from a different translation this week, the Message. I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to read a few bits and then we're going to think about them together. So here we go. So Moses was a shepherd and he was looking after his flock. And he led the flock to the west end of the wilderness and came to the mountain of God. The angel of God appeared to him in flames of fire, blazing out of the middle of a bush. He looked. The bush was blazing away, but it didn't burn up. Moses said, "What's going on here?" I'm sure that you would say that too. I definitely would. What's going on? I can't believe this. Amazing. Why doesn't the bush burn up? God saw that he had stopped to look. God called to him from out of the bush. "Moses, Moses," he said. "Yes, I'm right here." God said, "Don't come any closer. Remove your sandals from your feet. You're standing on holy ground." Then he said, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." Moses hid his face, afraid to look at God. But that's in the first part of our Bible reading. And what really strikes me there is how Moses must have been feeling. There he was, the burning bush, and he hears the voice of God. He must have been trembling. But God straight away says, "I am the God of your father." Straight away he's saying words that would comfort Moses and that Moses would understand. And I love the bit where he says, "Remove your sandals from your feet. You're standing on holy ground." Not only was it amazing that he was standing on holy ground, but also in those few minutes of taking his sandals off, maybe he just had a moment to think and to calm so that he was ready to hear what God wanted to say. So already we see that God completely knows about Moses. He knows that Moses is worried and scared. He knows that he's wondering what's going on. So let's jump on to verse 11. So God has asked Moses to do a really important job. And Moses answers, "But why me? What makes you think that I could ever go to Pharaoh and lead the children of Israel out of Egypt?" "I'll be with you," God said, "and this will be the proof that I am the one who sent you. When you have brought my people out of Egypt, you will worship God right here at this very mountain." Then Moses said to God, "Suppose I go to the people of Israel and I tell them, 'The God of your fathers sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' What do I tell them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am. Tell the people of Israel, 'I am sent me to you.'" God continued with Moses, "This is what you're to say to the Israelites. God, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob sent me to you. This has always been my name, and this is how I always will be known." So although we hear that Moses is panicking about what God is asking him to do, God just makes it calm and says, "I'll be with you." And he gives him the words to say. So whatever we're facing this week, whatever we're doing today, God is with us. And maybe it is a moment when we just feel a little bit, oh, we're not just ourselves today, that maybe we need to be like Moses, taking his sandals off and just being with God. Just taking a moment to be still, just taking a moment to talk to God about things that are on our hearts and minds. In the next few weeks, we're going to have a whole new sermon series that we're going to be following in our children and families slot as well. And it's going to be all the sayings that Jesus said about I am. And it links right back to where it began in Exodus. So at the end of this film today, there's a little picture of all the sayings that Jesus said, I am. I'm sure that straight away you're shouting out ones that you know. But if you want to make it a quiz for yourself, you could always stop the film a little bit early and see how many you can think of before you see the final slide. So let's finish our time together with a blessing. When we're in our church building at CSK, Sylvia or Rachel finishes the service when we've come back from our groups with a blessing. So let's share one together this morning. And here's Glow Bear to help us. So may God give to us and to all those we love his comfort and his peace, his light and his joy, today and always. Amen. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.